I'd have driven to your house and beat your. I would have. I'd have driven over there and you'd have heard a knock at the door and you'd have opened it and it'd been my fucking fist coming at you. That's all it would have been. Son of a bitch. Fucking sitting, and I know you're sitting on your couch giggling like a 4-year-old. Yeah, rotten joke.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to what will be the most intense show that we have had. What better way than to kick off our 10th episode? Ladies and gentlemen, this might get a little rocky. There is going to be insults flying. I am Grinder. That man over there is Hoagie. He calls himself Hugie, but his friends have always called him Hoagie. And I have been trolling the shit out of Hoagie.
Yes, you have.
He put up a post yesterday. We're going to start this off with a bang, ladies and gentlemen, with a bang. But before we do that, slapstick, decals and stickers. If there's one thing that we do agree on during this episode is that you guys do great work. And if you guys are looking for somebody to create a banner for you or do stickers for you or do shirts, fucking teacups, whatever.
Lampshades, fucking shower curtains, you name it, Kev.
Yes. Get a hold of these guys. You can contact them on Facebook as well at 403-505-9693. Tell them that Hoagie and the great and all-powerful, who's never wrong, Kevin Nemo.
Oh, easy now.
You put my name out there. Let them know that I sent you. And you guys will get an extra 10% off your first purchase. Now, all right, ladies and gentlemen, I have been waiting for this episode because he is going to come out with Fist of Fury. And I am here to tell you all that the challenging, you are going to see why I am Grinder. I have been grinding his gears for almost a week with absolute nonsense. And then some of it, I was challenging and I was disagreeing with him. We're going to start it off with a banger today, ladies and gentlemen. Hoagie put up a post yesterday about two broadcasters in Florida having rings. He went in there, he put his comment or his title to it. He had to give obviously he had to give some more in-depth take in what he was saying because apparently we were taking it out of context. We weren't understanding what he was telling us. But it looks like a lot of people are disagreeing with you under your own post. I know I've been trolling the ever-living crap out of you on this because you're like, Kevin says they do. You say they don't. There are people saying that, yes, they do. You go ahead, buddy. You go ahead. You go on your little rant.
Okay,
let us hear it.
You let me in on this here. Okay. So, if you had been on TikTok this morning and looked, all my comments have way more fucking likes than your bullshit. Way more.
Okay, that's
they do.
That's
they
not
do.
even. That's
pull
anybody
your phone
who
out right now, motherfucker.
No, anybody.
Pull it out right now. Right now. Now, my argument from this fucking post, my argument from this fucking post, do the guys that sit on TV and get their makeup done and go out and drink after the game by themselves, why in the fuck did they deserve any kind of an award for a team winning a Stanley Cup?
They absolutely do deserve it.
No, they don't.
Yes,
they
do.
Have zero basis on whether that fucking team wins or loses.
I disagree.
Now, I understand that the assistant GM, guys in the comments specifically talked about Luongo. He deserves it because he had his fingers on the team. The fucking broadcast, had the Oilers won the Stanley Cup, Jack Michaels doesn't deserve a fucking ring. Sure, and now wait a minute. I know that they're not the same as the players' rings. We know that. Apparently, some of you didn't pick up on that in the first place because, well, our fucking education system is fucking stupid and dumb and retarded and, sorry, I can't say retarded, developmentally challenged. And apparently your reading comprehension sits at about a grade 3 level. Now, don't get me wrong, Kev. I thoroughly enjoyed Hop on Pop and Green Eggs with Ham. But as a person who's advanced past the level of a grade 3 learning comprehension, I can fucking understand where people are coming from and make the common sense assumption that most people get that a player doesn't get the same ring as a fucking TV broadcaster who sits there with a microphone like this. Should Gene Principe have a fucking Stanley Cup ring if the Oilers fucking
He deserves one if they do, yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Absolutely.
No. Okay. Does the fucking popcorn vendor deserve one? Because he's part of the fucking game. How about the guy I go and get my pulled pork nachos from at Rogers Place? Huh? How about the dude that's changing the urinal pucks out in the fucking urinal, Kev? How about the fucking bus driver that drives them from the hotel to the fucking... I would argue that the bus driver driving them to and from the hotel and the popcorn kid have more engagement on whether the team wins or lose than the fucking TV guys.
So the TV guys actually do interact with them quite a bit. They are also on the, they travel with them.
Let me stand on the bench. How was that a good game? Well, we're going to get pucks deep and we got to fucking work as a team.
They have a lot
good
of
interview. Thanks. Here's your fucking towel. Fuck.
So they travel with the team. We don't know what goes on behind the scenes.
I don't know what goes on behind the scenes.
They obviously probably helped him out with somebody to talk to. They travel with the team. The players respect them a lot more than any other reporter. It's not like you have Jim Matheson from fucking the Edmonton Sun traveling with him.
Okay, there. Would Jim Matheson get a ring because he covers the fucking team?
But he works for the Edmonton Sun, so no. And it's sort of the same thing with the popcorn guys. I think they're probably under a contract with catering.
So Jack Michaels and Louie and Gene, they work for fucking Sportsnet. They don't work for fucking OEG.
But the Oilers buy into that. They pay into that, right? So
Rogers fucking owns the rights to every broadcast. So therefore they work for Rogers. They don't work for fucking OEG. The popcorn guy works for fucking OEG. So the popcorn guy deserves a fucking ring. No, they don't. The popcorn guy deserves a ring far more than the goddamn fucking TV guy. At least the popcorn guy is there making sure the fans are happy. What is Louie? Louie, okay, because he's between the benches and he's funny as shit and, I like him. But at the same time, I don't understand. It's a fucking participation medal. It's give him a plaque, give him a hoodie or fucking whatever. Say, hey, right on. Here's your fucking hat. Have a good one. Beat it. You couldn't make it when you fucking played, so fucking beat it. That Randy Moeller fucking jackass, big nose having son of a bitch.
Okay, so you know what I think this is? I think this is steeped in more. When you look at it, I think you're more upset, and you probably haven't said it yet because I know it's probably coming. I think you're more upset with the fact that when I looked at their broadcasting, the only time they wore those rings were that night when the Oilers played.
Oh, that's not the part that upsets me. Yes, that did upset me, but the part that really upsets me is these guys have done absolutely nothing to deserve any kind of a fucking ring. They deserve something. Well, I'll fucking concede that, but not a ring. And yes, for all you idiots who skipped the last minute or so, I understand they're not the same as the players' rings. I get it. But they don't deserve a fucking ring like that. I don't know. There again, Kev, nobody ever accused Florida of being a classy organization.
Right.
I'll say that. Florida is like the fucking Alabama of fucking the NHL. Tampa Bay, classy organization. Florida, not so much. But I guess when you name a guy like fucking, Matthew Tkachuk and them guys as your fucking leadership group, it Sam Bennett and fucking, it can be expected you're going to be a piece of shit organization with piece of shit fucking leaders. Just fucking trash.
Yes, they do deserve one.
No, they don't. They deserve something, but not a fucking ring. Period. And okay, Kev, I would agree with you, but then we'd both be fucking wrong. It's that simple.
Well, I'll tell you
We'd
what.
both be wrong.
It sounds like everybody else is wrong too. Then eh?
Tell me you didn't check the fucking TikTok fucking post after fucking 6 a.m. because my comments are kicking the shit out of yours.
Oh no, I've been watching them between 6 and 9.
You have not, you fucking
I
liar.
have seen so many people. What do you mean? You even you text me and be like, "You're suing me online." That was during that
Yeah, you
time.
are. And then we're gonna get into the second one after this one. You son of a bitch.
So, anyways, to the broadcasters, well deserved. I hope you enjoyed those rings.
No. To the broadcasters, fuck you.
You
Fuck
did.
you. From the Hoagie and Grinder show, fuck you.
Well,
You don't deserve a fucking ring.
Well deserving.
Especially if you're gonna flaunt them in front of our team. Fuck you. Fuck you too, Kim.
The other thing I think, on a positive note here, I think that we had a pretty good. I'm surprised the way things kind of worked out on this road trip, because I was taking a look at the road trip and I'm like, fuck, I was dreading it before it happened. And then they go on the road trip.
Yeah, they
And you
usually
know
don't
what?
fare well in the Southeast.
They don't do farewell. They don't do well out there. Usually they come under 500, and this time they came out at 500. So, I got to give them props for that. One of the things that, there's a couple of things that I could tell you that really stood out for me. And one thing for sure is this Jack Roslovic guy is on a different level, man.
He's on a fucking tear. On a tear.
Did 22 goals last year. We're only 20 games in. We're 24 games in. And he's at 9. I mean, and did you see the goals that he scored? Like the second goal he scored in Florida was absolutely sick. How McDavid just
been,
fed
I don't know. He's been otherworldly lately. Hey, ride the hot hand, man. Ride the hot hand.
Well, speaking of hot hand, in the last 2 games, I will say this: I will tip my hat off to Calvin Pickard, as well as Stuart Skinner. I thought after the game that Calvin Pickard had in Tampa Bay, they would have kept with him. And when I saw Skinner was in that, I was like, this doesn't make any sense. But he was standing on his head for a lot of that game, and I hope that, I talked to this guy on TikTok. He's well educated in the sport of hockey. He grew up in northern Alberta, moved to Texas. I don't know if it was for work or family, but he grew up as an Oiler fan and just well educated. And I would, beginning where, the first 20 games of the season, I go and tell him like this about Bouchard and that about Nurse and this about Pickard and that about Skinner. And he always kept it pretty, he's like, listen, like, you can't think that way. They're going to turn it around. Let's have this conversation at the end of November. I bet you by then things and the team will turn around. Except he did say, Nurse. He's like, I don't think Nurse will ever change. Since I don't know what game it was, but there was a time where Bouchard he was like a -11 or minus, even maybe worse than that. Since then, he is now 3 goals, 17 assists for 20 points. He is the 5th in defenseman points. And he went from a minus, let's say 14, 13 to a 0.
Yeah, he's an even player now.
Yeah. So I'm seeing a change there. I'm seeing a change with Skinner. Let's hope that continues. Nurse is just, I don't know. I think he's, he needs a doctor. But the guy that I'm talking about, he goes by the name of, I'm a hockey guy. I want to give a shout out to him because, he's, I go to him with questions that you and I agree on, and he'll disagree with them. And then later on, I find that he was right, and then he's right more times than he's wrong. I would love to have him on the show, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
He's well educated. He there is one thing he did agree that he would agree with us because he brought up the Carter Hart thing. He doesn't think that Carter Hart or any of those players should have a chance to play in the NHL because they not only disgrace their team, they disgrace the country, they disgrace the the camp, if you will, of Hockey Canada. But I thought it was interesting because he had put out this thing about that, and then in his conversation, he stated, your fan base tells you not to bring them on, and you don't listen to your fan base. And I said, okay, everything I agree with absolutely everything he's saying. So I sent him a message because I was like, it's when you said that the team didn't listen to their fan base and they should have listened to their fan base because their fan base were against Hart coming on there. Same could be said about the Edmonton Oilers. There were players, Stan Bowman. Nobody wanted Stan Bowman to be the GM. People were edgy about Evander Kane coming on board.
Zach
Kassian and Corey Perry. Zach Kassian was obviously had a drug issue, plus he was drinking and driving, got into a huge car accident, could have killed other people or himself. Evander Kane came with some baggage. He broke the law when it came to COVID restrictions, or at least that's what they said he might have done. Fans are, we don't know what happened with Corey Perry. All we can know is it's some form of harassment, and who it's to, we don't know. And then you got Stan Bowman, with the Kyle Bleach situation. And we as a fans have, so, he actually texted me back and basically told me, he's like, this is a great question, and give me some time because I want to give you a thoughtful answer, but I got to really think about this. But I just thought it was an intelligent question to ask because, yes, you're right. They didn't listen to their fan base, but dude, you cheer for the same team as I do, and they didn't listen to our team. Didn't even listen to us on some of our guys that we brought on. So, what are your thoughts on that?
It's tough. I mean, with Zach Kassian, let's start there. He was the first kind of remediation project the Edmonton Oilers brought on when I've really been paying attention. I don't think he's the first in Oilers history, but Kassian, he ultimately became a fan favorite. The 2017 playoff run, the dude with his fucking mutton chops looked like Wolverine and the crazy eyes.
Yeah.
And then the feud he had with Matthew Tkachuk and fans adored him. I got one of his jerseys hanging on my wall because I love him. And I mean, I'm a firm believer that some things deserve a second shot, second kick at the cat. Evander Kane, I was kind of against bringing him, but I came around very quickly. Corey Perry, I liked. My favorite part about the Corey Perry thing was the rumors that were swirling around.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that my favorite one was the fact that he did, or not the fact, but the rumor that he had been sleeping with Connor Bedard's mom.
Yeah.
And, that was just hilarious because Perry's old enough to be Connor Bedard's dad almost.
Yeah,
so it was funny. I mean, I feel bad for Bedard about the whole thing because obviously you don't want to see that shit in the news, and, nobody knows whether it happened. I doubt it happened. I mean, Connor Bedard's mom's an attractive woman, but
they said,
I sincerely doubt it happened.
They said they had something to do with somebody that was employed with the team. It was somebody that traveled with the team that he made some comments to.
Oh, see, I heard it ended up being like a waitress at a Chili's or something that he was harassing, representing the Chicago Blackhawks. So, I mean, nobody really knows except Corey Perry and the Blackhawks organization. So, but I mean, it was a good pickup for us. Corey Perry brought a lot to the table for us. Helped get us to the Stanley Cup final a couple of times, but ultimately, I mean, the Corey Perry curse, the guy has been to more Stanley Cup finals than God knows how many people. And he's got one Stanley Cup. So I feel bad for him, man. Like, I like Corey Perry. I think he's almost as old as we are. Or well, me. I mean, you're kind of getting to be a fucking fossil. So, but I see the allegations regarding Stan Bowman and the whole Kyle Beach thing. I have mixed feelings on it. I don't like the fact that he was involved at all. That he did cover it up. That's been out there, but he did serve his time away from the league. And Joe Quenneville was in the same boat, and so many of the other Blackhawks people out of that organization. I mean, it put a serious black eye on that organization. I feel bad because guys like Jonathan Taves and Patrick Kane and the guys who won that cup, I don't know if it tarnishes that, but it's, you're always going to think of that team for that. Not the fact that they were a great team on the ice and won Stanley Cups. And I mean, the Stan Bowman and Carter Hart, being that the allegations are more serious
Yeah.
than, well, I more serious is the wrong word.
Well, like I
Because
told,
obviously, drinking and driving serious with Zach Cassian, and they're all serious charges, but these guys have I don't know, I guess paid their debt, so to speak. And I mean, the whole Carter Hart thing, we got into that in great detail. And I think just because the baggage that it comes with, it wouldn't be a good look for the organization, because it has so much more baggage. It's strung out so long. It was the face of Hockey Canada, not the face of Hockey Canada, but it was a story that had been in the forefront for many, many months in the hockey world, both internationally and at home here. That draws a lot more baggage than Evander Kane falsifying a vaccine record or Zach Cassian drinking and driving. I mean, we all remember Danny Heatley. He got
yeah,
in an accident drinking and driving, and one of his teammates passed away.
Danny Savette or something
And
like that.
yeah, Savret, that's right. And so I believe there is a point of I don't want to say redemption, but people can move past it. And it's unfortunate that it has to get to that point that you do something that people have to move past or look past. But I agree with the decision to pass on Carter Hart. Um,
And listen,
Stan Bowman,
like I said to him, I said, listen, I'm not comparing, you know, the allegations of what happened to these three players compared to like what his is. And what I'm saying is, you know, he had said, you, the Vegas Golden Knights team did not listen to the fan base. And guess what? You cheer for the same team that I do. And there were times where we as a fan base said, no, don't hire this guy. No, don't do this. No, don't do that. And they still did. Yes, you're right. These players came on, they turned things around. Stan Bowman is the last guy that has to prove that he can turn this team around and win a Stanley Cup, or help us not turn it around, but help us get over the hump. And I just, I look forward to seeing what he has to say. I don't know him personally. I'm on his live quite a bit. I'm going to probably give him a snippet of this show and send it to him. Because like I said, I got nothing but high respects for this guy. He's been right every time thus far. You should check him out. He goes by I'm a Hockey Guy. And yeah. The next thing I think is important to talk about is
Hello, everybody. This is Slapstick Decals and Stickers, a proud sponsor of the Hoagie and Grinder podcast. Get at us for your decals, stickers, banners, and more. You can reach us on Facebook or call us at 403-505-9693. Keep slapping.
You know, I know we brought it up before, but we kind of briefly brought it up before the show. Connor Clattenburg.
Connor Clattenburg. Connor motherfucking Clattenburg.
Fucking Clattenburg?
Clattenburg coming at you, Berg.
Yes.
That was a terrible text. If you ever send me a text like that again, I'm going to reach through the phone and slap you too, by the way.
Well, I'm just going to do a video of it and send it to you.
What?
So what I thought was really good, and we both agreed on it, as much as I don't want to agree on it with you. I'm happy they look past the other high-end players like a Quinn Hudson, bringing back Ike Howard, and they went with somebody. Obviously we didn't see him out on the ice very often, but I like how in the last minute of the game, he got a little physical in there and put somebody in a little bit of a headlock.
Yeah, he was engaged, and let's bring a little energy to the game. I like, that fucking Greer. Jesus.
Fucking UFC takedown on Frederick.
Well, now it's also been reported he's got a bad hand. That's why he didn't fight.
Oh.
But at the same time, I would assume the next time that Florida and Edmonton meet, you're going to see Frederick and Greer drop the gloves and have a go.
And they're boys healthy too, eh?
Yeah, they played in Boston together.
They played in Boston together. They're boys.
Yeah, but when you're on the ice, Kev, business is business.
Yeah,
business is business.
So what were your takes on Clattenburg for the first game? Obviously, he didn't play.
I liked him. He had a good chance. His mom talked about that. They showed the replay, and she was, it was good. Like I say, didn't see much ice, but when he was out there, he was noticeable. And like you said, especially getting that scrum with Greer, and he's not scared to get his nose dirty. And bringing up a guy like that, I mean, as an energy guy, much as I like Ike Howard, an energy guy like Clattenburg, maybe that's something the Oilers needed. I mean, clearly, Trent Frederick hasn't really got it going to where we want. And Mangiapane hasn't been quite as engaged as we'd like to see. But
he's not
Clattenburg, maybe it's a fresh look for the team. It's a new guy. The only one who's really been engaged all the time that I'm quite happy with is Vasily Podkolzin. I mean, Pods is a fucking, that guy is just a beauty.
Well, who was it that was?
He made a drive on the net in late in one of the periods against Florida, and fucking smoked the goaltender and ended up in a pile in the corner. And I thought, now that's the type of fucking shit we should be doing all the time. Run the goaltender. Fuck Florida. And run the goaltender.
He I don't know how many times, I don't know if it was point or whatever, and try to intimidate him in the front there, and he wouldn't even budge and be like, "I'll fight you."
Wouldn't even budge. Yeah.
Or what he did to was it St. Louis game where he fucked up Krebs, and Krebs was kept swinging at him, but the ref was in the middle.
Krebs was punching him while the ref was there, and the ref backed off, and fucking Podkolzin just folded him like some fucking laundry.
Yeah.
Folded his fucking jersey up with him still in it. It was great.
Yeah. Yeah. All of a sudden now he wasn't Mr. Tough Guy.
Well, no, he kind of did. I don't want to say he turtled, but they hit the ice, and you could see he was.
Yeah. Well, the other thing too in the Florida game. Now, mind you, before we get it, Florida fans, all 5 of you. So all 5.
That's generous. They're not in the playoffs.
Yeah, all 5 of you are die-hard Florida fans, not you bandwaggers.
Okay, diehards. Yeah.
The 5 diehard Florida Panther fans. Now we get it that there's no Tkachuk, there's no Barkov, there's no Kulikov. Fuck, there wasn't even an Ekblad in that game. It probably would have. I don't know if it would have been 6-3. It probably would have been a lot closer than that. But to chase out your Bobrovsky was nice to see. But anyways,
Rossi looked kind of shaky in that game.
yeah, he did. Yeah, absolutely. Well, look at the first goal that went in.
Yeah. Well, the Oilers need to score a few like that once in a while. You
Yeah.
know, get a little puck luck.
Yeah, instead of it being
squeaky
against
fucking
us. Yeah. All right. So the next thing, okay. So as we're continuing on, you want to get at me about something else. All right. The
I
floor is
do.
yours.
And so we're gonna back up one game, and we're gonna talk about the Tampa Bay Lightning game, and the third period when Tampa fucking ties it, and they looked at the play for offside. Now, your fucking dumb blind ass said he was onside.
Yep.
If you watch the replay in slow motion, he touches the fucking puck in it, at least on my 4K television. He touched the puck before the guy on the top side by the benches clears back to the line.
Kucherov.
Yes, the guy closest to the puck carrier was onside, but the guy on the top side was offside.
Okay, so we all know that the guys probably see different camera angles than we do.
I'm sure they do.
They even took their time out to really look at it. When I look at it, by the time Nick Paul touched it and I look over at Kucherov's already back at the blue line. So now he's stuck in a tough spot because calls like this have either gone your way or they haven't gone your way. No, hear me out. They either go your way or they don't go your way. This was not a clear cut. It was obvious that he was offside. Like when you look at it, it was like I talked to Rob about it. Rob was like, it was borderline. I said, okay, so now,
yeah, it was a hairline call, Kim.
Let's say it is that. Okay, now you're risking something here. Now hear me out on this, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to hit you with some knowledge. Here we go. So it's a borderline call. We've had so many of those calls where it was borderline and they didn't go our way. More times not go our way than they did go our way. So you're up 1-0. Now you got Nick Paul who goes in there, gets a goal, ties up the game. You're about to challenge something that's borderline. Let's say it doesn't go your way, which is probably about 75% that is not going to go your way. It's not 50-50, ladies and gentlemen. It's probably 75%. Or even if it is 50-50, it's not guaranteed. So next thing you know, you get a penalty. You got 1 minute and 41 seconds left. You just gave them some more energy. They've also been out shooting you in the third period, 14 shots to 4. So now you give them a power play. They score in regulation. You walk away with nothing. You walk away with 0 when you could at least have 1 point. I think it was the right thing to do just because of our track record on these things. It wasn't a guaranteed. It was borderline. You don't risk that. You at least try to get 1 point out of it. And that's what they did. Because the way our team has been playing, we've seen us go up with 2 goals and then we lose by 2 goals. I'm not risking that. I think that was the right call to make, to at least, hey, if we're not going to win this game, at least we're going to get a point out of it. And not losing regulation yet again, when we've only won 2 regulation games out of the whole fucking season so far.
Okay, I understand your point, but what if you are right? What if you are right on that challenge? It completely deflates. It completely deflates the Tampa Bay.
I go with the
So
gut. I think the gut was not to challenge it. You're playing it safe.
See, and my gut told me to challenge it from that replay.
It's an Eastern Conference team, which has no effect with us in our standings.
Every point has an effect in our standings.
I get that, but it's not as effective if it was against Calgary.
No, obviously not. But at the same time, I would have challenged it. I would have went with it, and our penalty kill has been good lately.
Not in that game.
I'd have trusted.
Not in that game.
I'd have trusted.
No, sorry, that game in Florida was not good. Florida fucking...
No, but at the same time, up until then, they had been pretty good. And you put the trust in that portion of the team to get the fucking job done.
Well, and you know what, Matt?
That's what I'd have done.
I know, and that's why you're not the coach of the Edmonton Oilers.
Well, and that's why we have a shit, dismal fucking record. That's why we haven't won a fucking Stanley Cup since 1990. Because I'm not the coach.
Yeah. If you were the coach, we wouldn't even have a team anymore.
Because they just say, no, you guys are too good. You're not allowed to play anymore.
I think it's too much of a risk, and I'm happy that they went with that way. If it's going to be 50-50.
Well, I mean,
and I told you that third period, man, they were out shooting us. They were coming with everything but the kitchen sink.
Yeah.
I'm not about to give them a chance.
So again, we're at an impasse here. I'm right, you're wrong. So let's talk about
Not even close. The smartest guys
let's move on and talk about Andrei Vasilevsky.
That was luck. Or it could be skill. I don't know. It's Vasilevsky. He's a 3-time Stanley Cup champ, is he not?
I know he is.
Yeah, it's hard to say if it's luck or skill.
To stop all three of the fucking Oilers on that shift in the same fucking save. And as soon as it came off his pad and the Lightning player picked it up, and I was talking to my old man on the phone at the time, and he was watching too, and I said, here, they're going to come down and score here, and sure shit, bang, game over. And I mean,
I felt bad for Pickard because he played really well.
So did I. Pickard played really good that game. Really good. Like, you know, and I thought sure as shit they were going to get it to the fucking end. They were going to hang on maybe by the skin of their teeth, and, you know, and they couldn't manage to keep the fucking egg on the board, and they couldn't manage to fucking get it done in overtime because, again, you have a world-class goaltender that just steals a game for you.
And, you know, I think I'll tell you why I think it was skill. Guess who was the last person that touched that puck to try to put it in the net?
Was it Roslovic?
It was Roslovic, and he's had a hot hand, and he has scored goals where you're like, holy crap, how did that go in? Like the Podkolzin goal that he scored in Florida. So it makes you wonder if, you know, was that skill? Because it wouldn't surprise me.
I think it's a little bit of luck.
I would love to have a Vasilevsky on my team.
Oh my God. I think it was a little bit of luck, right? I mean, you see Vasilevsky, he did move his leg, but Roslovic's coming in there at 150 miles an hour, and, you know, he's just trying to get a shot towards the net, hopefully get it past Vasilevsky. And, you know, I don't know, the game moves so fast, it's, you know, you'd want him. Now, a guy like Connor McDavid probably would have grabbed it, got into his phone booth, stick handled a little, and fucking fired in the net. But I mean, that's just the way the game goes, right? And it was a tough loss because Pickard did play really well. I thought the whole team in the first period played really well. Yeah. And then they kind of let off in the second, and then in the third, like you said, Tampa Bay threw everything plus the kitchen sink at them. So I mean, it was a great game to watch. I gotta say, it was the outcome wasn't there, but as a pure hockey fan, it was a great game to watch.
Yeah, I think Jack Michaels said it best when he said, "Who says that a 1-0 game is boring? Because you're not watching this game."
Yeah, they went back and forth all night. It was a good game to watch, man. I enjoyed that game a lot.
I think that I think and then after that game, obviously they build into what they did in Florida. And I'm just really, really happy to see that they came out of that, you know, 500. And they should take that as you know, a motivation builder, if you will, and as a positive, and continue on down the road. You know, we were talking about, I was looking at the standings today, and I was yet again, I was right about something else. And we have it on TV where you were saying like, oh no, they're still a powerhouse. I'm getting a little concerned about the Montreal Canadiens going from first to now they're 11th or 12th in their conference. They are not. I mean, they beat Toronto, but I mean that doesn't really mean anything. But
Toronto's on a hell of a slide.
Oh, are they not? Yeah. Are they not the shits now? Right now? Oh, I love it.
I don't know what is wrong with Toronto.
I
But
love it.
yeah, Toronto is not. Yeah, I'm quite happy to fucking see Toronto lose anytime. Doesn't matter who they're playing.
I don't even, yeah, exactly. You could see the Toronto Maple Leafs fans who are all butthurt trolling the Vegas fans because of that giveaway that Marner did out in front against, I think it was the Hurricanes, and they lost in overtime. And then you got all these Toronto Maple Leafs fans going in there and like, I recognize this, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, you do realize that Vegas has got a really, like, they're ahead of you guys in the standings. I don't know if you guys should really, it's like my buddy Don, who, the Oilers have been struggling with the goaltending. So every time we lose a game, he would send me, pictures of like what's supposed to be Stu Skinner with holes in him and called Swiss cheese and all this, that, and the other.
Swiss
Yeah,
cheese Skinner. I seen that one.
And yeah, he's a Flames fan. And it's like, I don't even know what to say to this guy. This guy knows his team sucks shit, but he's telling me my team sucks. So it's like, you can't even say anything to this guy.
It's the same thing as
Funny.
me and you, right? I mean, we bust each other's chops, but it's, like I got, so here, I'll give a shout out to my favorite cousin, April. She's a Canucks fan. And anytime the Canucks play the Oilers, she fucking beats off to me, especially if the Oilers lose. And I'll never hear the end of it. So shout out to her, because
And their team's shit too.
She likes to their team is shit. And
they're like 9-11 right now.
Yeah. No, 9-12-2. And I mean, we're 10-9-5, so I guess we really can't say much.
Yeah, well, we're above 500, so.
Well, yeah. But she likes to bust my fucking chops anytime the Canucks beat the Oilers. So,
although, how many games in hand do they got?
We both they have one. We played 24. They played 23. Yeah. So,
I was just thinking, like, when you look at that and you're just like, it just, Montreal, who's my number 2 team. It was a great night that night for Florida, because Florida lost to us, and then Montreal beat Toronto, so I was pretty happy about that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the other thing, one thing that the Canadians did is pick up that Texier.
Not sure who that is.
From the Blues. The Blues decided to terminate his contract. He was 2.1 for the Blues, and Montreal picked him up at I think $1 million a year.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, he's 5 years in the league, 240 games. It's a good ad to help bolster Montreal's lineup right now. So that was a great, that was a smart move by Montreal. We'll see if he fits, but if with their troubles, maybe it's a nice little boost to get him back on track. Because I think like Arbor Jackeye and Florian Jackeye, man, those guys, I'd love to have those guys on our team.
It's like watching the Kostitsin brothers again. They're out there like getting people's heads, getting the crowd all riled up.
Yeah.
The 2 brothers are out there.
That'd be so much fun, man. That'd be so much fun. Like, I mean, it was kind of the same thing with the Kachuk brothers play when during the Four Nations too, right? Like they're trying to be like the fucking Mighty Ducks, the Bash brothers on the Mighty Ducks, and then one of them gets his clock cleaned at fucking center ice. Or no, that wasn't a Kachuk. That was who one of the Canadians beat the shit out of the fucking one of the Americans at center ice on the second shift.
The second shift would have been, well, I know that what's the guy from Tampa Bay? Point? No, it wasn't Point.
Yeah. Wasn't Braden Point? No.
No, it was, but he was Hagel. Was it Hagel or Hugo?
Hang on.
I think it was Hagel.
Whoever it was.
Sure, it was something Hagel.
Brandon Hagel.
I want to say that's who it was. Well, he beat up Matthew Tkachuk, and then Brady Tkachuk beat up Sam Bennett. And then JT Miller tried to go after Parenko, and Parenko fucking took him on.
It was Colton Parenko, wasn't it?
Colton Parenko fought. Yeah, but he fought JT, but it was right by the net. And he JT Miller kept poking the bear, and then finally Parenko was like, fuck it, let's do it.
Maybe that was the one I was thinking of.
Okay.
Maybe that was the one I was thinking of. But Yeah, just beat the hell out of the fucking U.S. player, and they didn't want to scrap anymore after that.
Yeah, that would have been
But
Paul
that's,
Karenko.
I mean, I watched that Amazon Prime Inside the fucking NHL special, and they talked to Brady and Matthew, and they talked about that, the intensity that came with that game. Wow. Like, just wow.
Yeah. No, it was intense. It was
So the first,
now
okay, first fight,
you're not gonna see that
first fight
in
was
the
Matthew
Olympics, though.
Kachuk.
Yeah.
You don't think so?
No, you won't see him fighting
Oh, okay.
because they got you're kicked out of the tournament if you fight.
That's right. That's right. I think you're going to see some serious nastiness, though. I think it's going to be really good. I'm stoked for the Olympics, man.
Yeah, I'm
Stoked.
stoked. Well, and that's what the segment I wanted to get into was about the Olympics. A lot of people are coming out with their mock roster picks, and there's one thing where I wanted to bring it up to you. I think that two of them are probably too young to jump into the ball, although they're having a hell of a fucking season so far. What do you think of the likes of like Schaefer and Celebrini and Bedard being on the team?
Well, I mean, for guys like Celebrini, Bedard, and Schaefer to learn from somebody like Sidney Crosby, epic, epic. Now there's a lot of good players that could fire on the jersey with the maple leaf on it. Now I think Celebrini and Bedard I'd probably give a really long look to. But I'm not positive about Schaefer.
He's having a hell of a. I will say he's
He's
probably going
having
to
a
win
good
the
season.
Calder. Yeah.
Yeah, like when it comes to NHL, but I mean international it's a whole different animal, right?
Well, yeah,
And
because you got best
I
on
might
best at that
take
point. Best
yeah,
on
I
best.
might take one. I might take either Celebrini or Bedard. I may not take both. Now, okay, here's one I heard. I think they were talking about this Saturday night in the Florida game. Um, Tom Wilson. Do you put Tom Wilson on Team Canada?
Zach Hyman.
I'd probably take them both, Kev. I'd take Tom Wilson and Zach Hyman.
Well,
Because there is,
the question was during the show because I watched the show with you.
yeah,
Was who do you take out of the two of them? And that's why I said I would take Zach Hyman because Zach Hyman is in more. He's a fucking grinder, and he does it all, man. And
he does. Well, so does Tom Wilson.
but he also knows McDavid better than Wilson does.
That's true. That's true.
So that's why.
Yeah, that's that's a tough call, man. Like I like what Tom Wilson brings to the game, right? I mean,
Well, then I think you
he's
choose which teams, right? Like, let's say if it's a high octane team, I'm just thinking like the States. Maybe you put in a Wilson. Maybe he'd be your 11th guy or 12th guy, whatever. And
yeah,
then if you're playing against a team like Finland, okay, well then you probably put a Hyman in there, right? If you can have that luxury, then go with that luxury.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, you're right about that. If you can have them both on the roster, but swap them out depending on the opponent, that's a good strategy. But does Canada have the luxury of that much roster space? I don't know how the
Well,
tournament,
from what
roster works.
there's this one guy on TikTok. He let me see if I don't think I could find him, but he's funny when he's picking out his teams. He's very loud and very like, holy fuck, take a look at this fucking line. Good fucking luck, America, or and that's what he would say. And it's all his predictions, and every one of them he has an extra player, an extra forward, and an extra defenseman. So they might have that luxury. And if they do have that luxury,
I looked it up. So for men's hockey teams in the Olympics, you can have a maximum of 25 players. Traditionally, it breaks down to 14 forwards, 8 defensemen, and 3 goaltenders. So I don't know. I mean, like I say, do you want the flexibility to be able to work in a Tom Wilson into your lineup if you need? Because I think realistically, the only country you're really going to need a guy like Tom Wilson might be the United States.
Or if Russia was there, it'd be Russia.
Well, I hate to say it, if Russia had a team, if Russia was eligible to put a team in, they'd be a fucking serious contender.
Fuck yeah.
I mean,
Fuck
just
yeah.
their goaltending and their fucking,
Well, it makes you wonder, though. I mean, there's going to be other teams that are going to be in there that are going to try to make a name for themselves too. You never know. There could be a Belarus of this year. But I look at the States. Yes, I also think that the Czechs could be guys that Tom Wilson would be a better fit to play against.
think so?
Yeah. But then when you look at Finland, you look at Sweden, I would say more of a Hyman. You got to remember, there's more than just 4 nations. Put the the German consulate in there? Here comes Draisaitl and be like,
Draisaitl and Stutzla and the
we're
rest.
playing against Germany. Yeah, we're putting Wilson in there. There's probably Hitler over there.
Marco Sturm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think you should have him in the back pocket because there are round robin games. There's enough games for the 2 weeks where they could be like, hey, you know what? Wilson's going to be a better fit in this game. Wilson would be a better fit in this game. Hyman would be better fit in this game. And then they could find out, as they go. Plenty of hockey to play during those 2 weeks. So I say you bring them along. Yeah, absolutely. You bring Wilson along. You bring both of them along. And then
I definitely want to see Hyman.
Hello, everybody. This is Slapstick Decals and Stickers, a proud sponsor of the Hoagie and Grinder podcast. Get at us for your decals, stickers, banners, and more. You can reach us on Facebook or call us at 403-505-9693. Keep slapping.
Yeah. I was looking at the goaltending, and people seem to have Logan Thompson ahead of Binnington, and then Jarry's in there.
Tristan Jarry's in there?
Yeah. I mean,
Logan Thompson is a good goalie, but Binnington, for whatever reason, he's got that Carey Price-like ability to turn it on.
Well, he's
and
dialed
Marc-Andre
in.
Fleury had it, right? Like you've seen it in the 4 Nations when we were playing the U.S. in the gold. It was, okay, well, this is gold medal Binnington and Stanley Cup final Binnington, and I mean that's tough because Logan Thompson's a very good goaltender too.
You put Binnington in any type of tournament, it seems that you put him in the Stanley Cup playoffs, although maybe the last couple haven't been going his way. But if you put a good team ahead of him and you put him in a tournament like you did with 4 Nations, you put him in a tournament like the playoffs or the Olympics, and you got good D, which we do have fucking really good defensemen ahead of him.
Yeah.
He's dialed in, and it's hard to beat him. And that's why I think you got to give it to Binnington first. It's great to see what Tristan Jarry's done with Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is having a good season so far. I think he should be in the conversation. Logan Thompson should be involved in the conversation. Unfortunately, it's too late for Stuart Skinner, so he shouldn't be in the conversation. But it'll be interesting to see how that all comes out. But when I look at the decor, is there anything on the decor you would change? Because it looks pretty much like the same decor. People are coming out with the same mock drafts for the roster for the mock roster for them, and it looks like it's the same one as the 4 Nations. Like, do you keep a Harley in there? You got a Josh Morrissey, you got a Colton Parayko.
These guys are fucking amazing. And
they got Ekblad in there. A lot of people have Ekblad making the team.
See, I like Ekblad. I think I'd keep him in for sure.
Was he not? He wasn't in the 4 Nations though, was he?
No, I think he was hurt, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Okay, so here let's go through the official invites. The official invites are Evan Bouchard, Noah Dobson, Drew Doughty, Aaron Ekblad, Thomas Harley, Cale Makar, Brandon Montour, Josh Morrissey, Colton Parayko, Travis Sanheim, Shea Theodore, Devon Taves, and Mackenzie Weegar.
Okay, so Evan Bouchard definitely should be on the first line.
Immediately, I am cutting. Get out of here, you fucking hack. You and your fucking ridiculousness. Immediately, I'm cutting Evan Bouchard and Mackenzie Weegar. Both of them. I don't think they have what it takes to play on that top level. personally, I'd keep Drew Doughty.
Yeah,
He's
if
an
he's
offensive
healthy,
weapon.
if he's
If he's
healthy,
healthy, that's the big thing. Yeah. Aaron Ekblad, Kale McCarr obviously is going to be there.
I would take
Colton
Evan
Parayko's
Bouchard
going to
over.
be there.
I take Evan Bouchard over
Stop
Kellen
it
Card.
right now. You fucking stop it. That is enough. That is enough. My blood pressure's high enough from your bullshit on TikTok. You can fucking stop it. Are we having a serious conversation here? Or are we fucking around?
We're bringing the viewers.
Jesus. Right. Yeah, I'll grind your fucking head into paste. You keep this shit up. Fucking drunk. Evan Bouchard on fucking Team Canada. I wouldn't put him on the fucking women's team. Fuck. God damn it. Shut up, you fucking. Jeez.
All right. Okay,
I would Kale McCarr, Colton Parayko, Aaron Ekblad, Drew Doughty if he's healthy, probably a Josh Morrissey. I think Morrissey deserves to be there because he's a solid shutdown defenseman, and he's good. Let's face it, he's good. Shea Theodore, I don't know, man. I mean, he's good, but he might be getting a little long in the tooth, a little wore out. I'd probably bring Theodore as I mean, he does perform at a high level all the time.
Well, he got taken out of last year's Four Nations because he got injured, and then they brought Harley in.
Yeah, and
he's 30 years old.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. I mean, Harley's a good defenseman, but he is pretty young. I mean, he'd be the youngest defenseman on the team. He's born in 01, right? So but there again, maybe you need a little youth on that back end. So, I mean, if you're bringing 8, I'd put Harley in there. I don't know, man. They're also fucking good, with the exception of Evan Bouchard. And no hate against Mackenzie Weegar. I think he's a good defenseman, but he's just a Calgary Flame, so fuck him. It's a tough call, and I mean, depending on. Okay, this is gonna taste like shit coming out of my mouth. Depending on how Evan Bouchard is playing, and who you have available in your other positions, and who you're going to bring on the roster, maybe Evan Bouchard slides into the number 8 spot. And I hate that I have to say that. I fucking hate it. Well, you can fucking shut up about it too.
I'll tell you what. Let me take a look here. I would almost, Drew Doughty, if Drew Doughty is not ready to go and he can't go, and it sucks because Alex Pietrangelo won't be there. I honestly, I would take a look at a guy like Owen Power. He plays hard against the puck. Travis Samheim, who is also part of the Four Nations. He played hard against the puck. Maybe throw Devin Taves on there and give Kale McCarr his partner in Colorado. But either way you look at it, and I've heard it by so many people, they're like, fuck, that defense is fucking good. Well, however way you want to look at it. Our weakest spot will probably be net. But even then, you get a fucking dialed in Bennington, then good luck.
So here, Kev, I'm on the Hockey Canada website looking at the goaltenders. Logan Thompson is not even in the official, invite list, I guess you could call it. They have Jordan Binnington, Aiden Hill, and Sam Montembeault.
I'm gonna say no to Sam Montembeault just because of his season hasn't been going good. Even though when they were winning games, there was Dubas that was doing really well. Sam Montembeault's games kind of falled off a bit. Aiden Hill, I would definitely be looking at. Vegas is having a good year. I would even probably throw in, if you could have 4 goalies, which you can't. I think at the end of the day, you're looking at Jordan Binnington, Aiden Hill, and then let it be between Sam Montembeault, Mackenzie Blackwood, who's doing really well in Colorado, Logan Thompson and Darcy Kemper, and then see what you can get out of that. And go with one of those guys.
You think Kemper deserves to be in the mix?
He's doing well for LA right now. I mean, they're still in the
he's a
playoff
good
spot.
goalie. He's a good goalie. I remember when he played in Red Deer, he was a good goalie. So
honestly, I think that if you put any of these goalies behind behind that defense is going to help you.
Wow, you're not wrong, Kev. I mean, fuck, I could get a 7. I could match Stuart Skinner's save percentage playing behind that defense.
Yeah.
Just give me the shot. Come on, Cooper. Good dude. Sign me up. Let me go here. Fucking, I'll blow the dust off the fucking blades.
I think though we got a lot of leadership. I think it wouldn't be a bad idea to put in some youth. So I'm not opposed to having a Bedard in there. He's played a couple years now in the league. He's starting to turn it up. I don't have a problem seeing him there. I think it's a little too early for Celebrini, although him and Crosby, I think, didn't he try out for Four Nations? I think they called him up to get a tryout with Four Nations, and he got to learn a little bit from Crosby. You know, and I think it's too soon for Schaefer. I think that, you know, one of the Olympics, they didn't even bring up McDavid, right? So, yeah, no, I think it's going to be good hockey. I can't wait for that hockey. I love that hockey. I love that best on best stuff.
Me too, buddy.
Gonna have to be up early to watch these fucking games. Where is it actually? Is it in Italy or where
Italy.
is it is?
Italy.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
So it's gonna fuck up our times to watch the games. So we'll have to record them and watch them when we get home. Other than that, we're pretty much past the 1 hour mark here on the greatest fucking podcast on the face of the planet. There was a lot of laughs.
I listened to your dumbass that long. Jesus.
Lot of laughs. A lot of me being right, you being wrong.
No, there was none of that today. None of it.
Big shout out to the guys that do the broadcasting for the Florida Panthers. Well-deserved rings. I hope you wear them at all the other games.
Jesus Christ. Take those rings and shove them up your fucking ass. Shove them up your ass because you're probably wearing a bejeweled... You're probably wearing a bejeweled fucking butt plug to go with your fucking Florida team too, you bunch of cocksucking assholes.
I love how they put the rings on their microphone hand so that they got to hold it up. They didn't they couldn't put it on.
Do you know why? Do you know why they do that, Kev?
Why?
Because they're both right-handed, so when they fucking Dutch rudder each other, they get the fucking rub from that ring. Bunch of fucking losers.
Chris Knobloch, that was a good call not to challenge that goal because
Chris Knobloch, pull your head out of your ass. Pull your head out of your ass.
We'll let the fans know or let the people that watch us know. Other than that, this show is not going to...
that video was a fucking split decision too. There was like 4 people that agreed with you and 4 people that agreed with me,
Matt,
which means Ty goes to the fucking smart guy.
Yeah.
Ty goes to me, Kev.
Okay. Well, listen.
As soon as I get off
ladies and gentlemen, we all know about the comment that I made about him and his beard. You know, he shaved his beard. He talks about having a really, really good job and making all this sorts of money. What happened, ladies and gentlemen, and I have it on good authority, is that anybody that agrees with him on social media, he pays them. That's all he does. Just gives them a little something. It's family. It's probably family and friends would be like, yeah, co-workers. Hey, man, I'll give you a couple bucks. Just go on there and just say I'm right. You know, that's what happened, right? That's what happened.
That's not what happened. What happened is you spend all fucking day at home trying to fucking recruit people to disagree with me is all you do. All I talked to this guy on TikTok. Come on to my Harvard page and fucking tell this guy he's wrong and see if we can fucking wind him up and give him a fucking jammer and die. You hate me, Kev. That's what it is. You fucking hate me. You want me to fucking die so you can have all my fucking memorabilia and fuck. That's what it is. I know it. Jesus fuck. Some fucking friend you are. Jesus Christ. Trying to get me a fucking jammer.
I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, like the one thing I do is I grind the ever living shit out of his gears, man. Like
Fuck.
any chance that
That's
I
why I
get,
have no fucking hair.
I do it at the right times. If my accuracy is good in anything, it's grinding this guy's gears. I have done it in every single hockey game, and he'll tell you this, where somebody on the Oilers would have done an amazing play where it's sweet goal, sweet save, and I would come to him and I would be like, terrible play, terrible save.
Or Evan Bouchard will cough it up with the blue line, and Kevin goes, "Wow, he is elite, isn't he?" Fuck.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I know that he
Go
on the
on.
other end is losing his mind while I'm being told to not poke the bear, and I'm poking the ever living shit out of that bear.
You're lucky you fucking live as far away from me as I do, because yesterday I'd have driven to your fucking house and beat your ass. I would have. I'd have just, I wouldn't, I'd have quit responding on text message, and I'd have driven over there, and you'd have heard a knock at the door, and you'd have opened it, and it'd been my fucking fist coming at you. That's all it would have been. Son of a bitch. You're fucking sitting, and I know you're sitting on your couch giggling like a fucking 4-year-old. Yeah, rotten bugger.
Oh, great show, ladies and
Pissing me
gentlemen.
off.
Right over there.
Good show today, Chad. Good show.
We're gonna call this. We're gonna wrap this one up. This I can't. I hope everybody had a good time listening to this episode. This was absolutely funny. We are going to be running our shows on a different schedule here. I was telling Matt that I'm going to be looking to doing different edits, which I think is going to help out with our show here. So Matt and I haven't really figured out which day. We're hoping maybe for Thursday. Today's Monday. We're hoping by Wednesday this will be out there. Other than that, appreciate anybody, all of our listeners, all 6 of you, including myself and Matt, and that 6. So the 4 of you, appreciate you listening
keep it
to
up.
the show.
We'll keep doing this as long as you keep listening.
Let people know we do swear on our show. That's why Matt was telling me we can't go on other social media platforms because of their regulations and yeah. But you know what?
Like handing out a fucking participation trophy of a fucking ring.
Oh man, I'm proud of those guys. Those guys deserve
just end the fucking show. End the show. I'm done. Fuck. We're brought to you by Slapstick Decals and Stickers, and get at them on Facebook for all your fucking Stanley Cup wannabe rings fucking shit. You can get at them on Facebook or call them at 505-9693. I'm sure Rob would be happy to get Kevin a fucking pinky ring with a fucking little Florida Panthers logo that doubles as a fucking butt plug. Fuck you. This is Hoagie and Grinder signing off, number fucking 10. God damn it. I'm out of here, Kev. Fuffs him. Pissing me off.